Good morning, everyone. Welcome. If you're new with us today, we'd like to give you a welcome packet back by the desk. You're welcome to pick it up after service. And if you'd like a tour of our grounds, I know it's raining, but our grounds are that beautiful. If you'd like to go see them, we'll give you a tour. And we'd like to start today by a song with Dalton Fitzgerald.
Way to start the there I am. What better way to start the day than with some Hindu chanting? It's call and response. You know the drill. The words will be appearing across the sky in multicolors if you need any help. Here's how it goes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vasudevaya. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. You sound so good. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vasudevaya. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Sing along. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Here we go now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Let me hear you. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. One more. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. I lean as close to you as I can. I lean as close to you as I... Now with me. I lean as close to you as I can. Give yourselves a round of applause, please.
Thank you, Dalton. That was the perfect song to wake me up. How about you guys? Yeah. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, where we inspire and empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. If you'd like our spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of prayer, the practitioners in service is Mary, Charlie, and I, and we'll be up by the bell at the end of the service if you would like some prayer. Please now turn and wave to the camera, say hello to those out there, and then turn around and give everybody here a wave or a hello. I'd like to thank all the people in service here today to make this service possible. And right now I invite you to silence your cell phones. And I will start with some focused announcements, but I'd like to invite Mary up to talk about her new class she's starting.
When home office says we're creating a new class, and then we don't get the workbook, and then a month goes by and another month goes by, and they go, oh, we're working on it. So I scheduled this way out, and it starts Tuesday. And I got the workbook 4 days ago. And this is your workbook if you want to take this class. Now, it's entitled Ancient Wisdom and Science of Mind. And I'll tell you, you're not going to find a class like this anywhere else. Let me tell you what's in it. You're going to learn about ancient African traditions, the Maya tradition, pagan traditions, Inca, Hindu, Maya, oh, there we go again. Anyway, all those traditions as we walk through this and how they relate to science of mind, where thoughts from science of mind came from eons ago. It's going to be great fun. Home office said, I scheduled it for 10 weeks. Home office said, oh, we've been getting complaints the classes are too long, so we're going to make this 5 weeks. I was speechless. That's what I said. No way. There's no way we're going to go through this in 5 weeks. So what we're going to decide on Tuesday is how long we want to do this. And so that'll be the fun part of it. If you would like to sign up today, you're welcome to. I've got copies of the workbook back there for those who've already signed up. It's going to be fascinating. And I'm going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot. And it'll be a lot of fun, because when we put this much in our mind this fast, we know we're just going to go, what did they say? What did I learn? And then we'll be able to share together and refresh ourselves about where Science of Mind came from. So I hope you come. Thank you.
We have a lot of fun stuff happening coming up. So today is Potluck Sunday, so please join in the social hall and enjoy a meal with everybody here. And we're still continuing to do a healing prayer for Phoebe Fazio, and I practiced that, as she recovers from a leg injury. So sound bath is off for now until she gets better. Sunday, March 1st is the Used Book Start starts to begin. And is Diana here? No. Okay, so she would like you to bring the books in a week in advance for donations. And okay, so March 1st, we're going to announce all the new members up here on stage. So be ready. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses right now, so it takes me a minute. Friday, March 6th and 7th, the 2-day Reiki class is going to begin. So those of you who would like to join in and do that, that'll be on a 2-day event. Call Jen and talk to her about that. She'll give you the information. Friday, March 6th is the Spiritual Jam. I know y'all like that, so please join us. Sunday, March 8th, after service, the State of the Center, the annual business meeting for the Center for Spiritual Living. So please come join us after service for that. And Spring Bingo Party, which I'm putting on, and it's on March 21st. So please come and join me for our beginning of our bingo night. And Kristen's going to be the DJ, so it's going to be a blast. So come join us. And then one more announcement I added on is the chili. When we have the Holistic Fair in April, we're going to have a chili cook-off. And so I just need people to sign up to bring a chili. If you'd like to, I would appreciate it. And I'd like to invite Lori up to do the reading. Charlie will invite the bell, and I will do the spiritual mind treatment. And then we'll invite Sue up.
In case you didn't know it, International Tongue Twister Day is February 26th. And it's a day to hold in honor because in New Thought, we know of the power of our word. Earnest Holmes said, words are powerful because they are the embodiment of thought. And Emily Cady said, words are the living vehicles of thought. Tongue twisters came into use in 1813, thanks to John Harris's book, Peter Piper's Practical Principles of Plain and Perfect Pronunciation, which featured a tongue twister for every letter of the alphabet. So now, let's master our words and let our voices rise up. We're going to do a couple of call and response tongue twisters. So are you ready? Repeat after me. Red leather, yellow leather. Excellent. Another one. Sally sells, she sells. See, there you go. And it even says, if your tongue trips, you're doing it right. So, one more time. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Great. And one more. Rubber baby buggy muppers. Now, just this half of the room. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. And this half of the room. Okay, and here's one more just for fun. A skunk sat on a stump and thunked the stump was stunk, but the stump thunked the skunk stunk. That's one I've never heard before. Tongue twisters show us how quickly the mind stumbles when it rushes, and how much joy appears when we slow down, say our word, and even laugh together. And even when our words stumble, they still carry power. So imagine what happens when we speak with intention. To conclude, here are a couple of spiritual tongue twisters. Peaceful thoughts, power, personal, purposeful prayers. And words wisely woven within work wonders.
Let's just take a moment and turn inside. There is one whole, complete, unlimited life everywhere present, all the time. It is the source of all creation, the essence of possibility itself, limitless, boundless, and ever-folding. I recognize that this present is not separate from me. It lives in me, as me. It knows itself in my very being. In this sacred moment, we open ourselves to possibility. We step to the edge of what has been known and welcome what is seeking to emerge. We release limitation, doubt, and fear, and we allow something greater to take shape within us. There is a clarity where there has been confusion. There is peace where there has been unrest. And there is love, always, steady, abundant, and unconditional. This service unfolds in divine order. Every word spoken, every song shared, every silence held is guided by infinite wisdom. Each person receives exactly what they want and need. Insight, comfort, renewal, and inspiration. I affirm that something beautiful is happening here and now. Hearts are opening, minds are expanding, lives are being touched and transformed. So I give thanks. I give thanks. With great gratitude, I accept that this is already done. I release this word into the law. And together we say, and so it is. Reverend Sue.
Good morning. Good morning, Dick Sorensen. It's really good to see you, up and at 'em. And you too, Nadine. So only Lori could do that tongue twisting. Weren't you proud of her? I looked at it and I thought, oh, that would be kind of fun to do, and I couldn't get past the first one. So thanks for playing with us with that one. So we're finishing up the month message. The message of the month on embracing the edge. And today we talk about on the edge of the possible. So one of the contemplative questions that you're invited to think about from all across CSL is, what would be possible if we really believed that anything is possible? So kind of tuck that away and think about it this week, especially those moments when you find yourself grumbly or complaining about what is. Well, what's possible then? So we come out of the grumbles and we come into insight. So there's a reading we've been also looking at at Howard Thurman. I had to look at his name because I was here last night for Carl Sandburg, and I have to switch my people around. So this reading is really beautiful. Follow me with it. On the great number of people who feel outraged over what seems to be terrible miscarriage of justice, how many do something concrete about it? All the energy is exhausted in such remarks. How awful. What a tragedy. Something ought to be done. What a shame. Again, our emotional reaction to situations causes us to adopt measures that bring quick and temporary relief from the immediate pressures upon us, but do not have much effect on the situation itself. The real purpose is to relieve only ourselves. Somehow we must find that which is big enough to absolve us from the artificial and ineffective methods for increasing welfare and well-being for all. This means the large view, the great faith, which will release the vast courage. We must remember that at the level of the daily round, we must put our own courage, our gentleness, our kindly devotion at the disposal of simple community in our homes, in our work, and in our play. The good deed continues to be good. The kind word continues to be kind. The cup of cold water given to the thirsty continues to be refreshing and reassuring. The need for love here is urgent and desperate as it ever was. Faith in life, faith in oneself, faith in another, faith in God. These are the necessities for our peace. Howard Thurman. It's written in his book, The Inward Journey, if you ever want to read more of his deep work. So here we are, standing on the edge of the possible. And I just ask you to kind of watch as I go on how these words speak to you. Because we've been dancing with this message all month. And we're continuing to ask ourselves the questions, to go deeper. And I loved Reverend Andy's message last week. I've been thinking about it, we're in rehab. Yeah, that's right. So he's such a brilliant speaker. So we get it. I think we get it now that the complaining and the cursing that is upon our lips is not getting us anywhere. If we're unhappy with what is, there's another solution, another way, another possibility. So we just keep asking that question when we get disturbed. Well, what is possible here? Immediately you will find prayer, and you will find another sense of approach on how you're looking at what is your vision, what do you want? So we can isolate these personal possibilities when we really give ourselves the time, because there are infinite possibilities in the universe, right? Infinite. So the spiritual law of pure potentiality reminds us that pure consciousness is pure potentiality. And that is something that this philosophy really hones in on, is our consciousness. And the divine is seen as our pure consciousness. God is pure consciousness. Nature is pure consciousness. Spirit, pure consciousness. It's what we strive to unite ourselves with wholly. So it reminds us that here are all the possibilities, all the infinite and creative processes right at our fingertips, so that our spiritual essence, our spiritual nature can thrive. So that comes from some of that comes from the 7 spiritual laws. And Earnest Holmes has frequently encouraged us to follow the guidance of the teacher of all teachers, which is Emma Curtis Hopkins. And she wrote the wonderful book, High Mysticism. Now, if you choose to read that, it's a slow read because there's so much to digest. There's so much to put into practice. But the classic teaching is used in the coursework through Science of Mind. We're all invited to really dive deep into her work. And one of the things I've mentioned before, but I really appreciate her idea of looking up. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, because there's so many dramas going on in the moments of our time, right? Just drama here, get over that one, there's another drama. We can hardly digest it, and we're not breathing very deeply through it. We're just letting ourselves kind of ride the turbulent waters. So there's an idea, if we can look at all of these things with dispassion. And I wrote that word out, and then I thought, oh, is that the right word I want? So I went to the dictionary and looked it up, and it's actually a state of being calm, dispassion. A state of being calm, objective, and free from intense emotion or bias. So I felt really smart alecky. I thought, no, I picked a good word out of the potentiality of all words. But it also said, and be bold enough to vision what could be. And I like that. I like that about a direction for all of us to take as a body of people, as a community. We therefore find a larger perspective to step into that is outside the constraints of our personal judgments and anger in the moment. This clear knowing then detaches us somewhat from the drama of these moments as they continue to throw us off our path just slightly, but we can always get back on because we know where our true guidance comes from. Earnest Holmes and Thurman both offer us the spiritual insight, this invitation to see with a larger lens. And I love this image, and I keep looking up, and I hope you do too, as you try to envision yourself walking this talk, this larger lens of faith, and envision what it is we can do to transform our world. Remembering that our connections are personal to the universe. And we also have this connection to the divine. We have a connection to that divine power, to that divine intelligence. We recognize divine intelligence is so much greater than we are, and we humble ourselves before it. But we also know that we are participating with that intelligence, that we're downloading that intelligence. You know, on a side, some of my most fascinating stories I've read about some of the greater teachers, Yogananda is one that comes to my mind right now. He was restless through school. He was just like, can I be done with this? And so he spent most of his time in spiritual work, in spiritual meditation, in fasting. But then his testing came and he had to test, and he sat down and he said, I don't know, but God knows. Now, we've heard that before. And sure enough, he passes everything. He's not the only spiritual wise man that has allowed themselves to just simply open up to the universe, because the answers are always there. Earnest Holmes the same way. He didn't have a large education, but man, he's prolific in his words, in his sentences, as you start to really dive deep into the Science of Mind textbook. So we look at this intelligence that's greater than we are individually. And then we see also that we can tap into that grace, that power, because this is where our faith comes in to work with the law of good, responding to our thoughts and our feelings. It always circles back to us. So this is a co-creation process. And Reverend Scott Aubrey, he shares a powerful word of the week. And it's one for you to contemplate for your own empowerment. And it's dynamis. Dynamis. It's from the ancient Greek. It means to be able to have power. And so the spiritual view of dynamis refers to the inherent capacity that I speak of, the power of what is not yet expressed, but fully possible. In classical Greek philosophy, it names that latent force within a being that awaits realization. Spirituality, dynamis, points to the possibility as something that's already always been present. asking not to be created because it already is. I love this, but to be activated through our awareness and our alignment with it. So Ernest Holmes supports this in his writings. When you say all things are possible, and we've heard ourselves say that probably, you're affirming that the power which created the planets is now operating in you, in your affairs, in and through everything that you do. If we believe that all things are possible, then to God, then we can know that God knows what to do with its own creation. It helps us to take down our tone of panic at times, of uncertainty, of fear, of what's going on next. Is there going to be a war? These things from our past history alarm our heart space, but we know and we have faith in this very statement. He says, if we believe all things are possible to God, then we can know that God knows what to do with its own creation, and we include ourselves in that creation. So what is the hiccup? Why do I keep mentioning this all the time? Because it seems like when we get hung up in anything, we start to stall out and we find ourselves bound by our complaining or worrying. Now I realize I've mentioned this whole topic so many times, and you're so loyal and faithful in showing up. So I might be just saying what you already know, and I'm sure I am, but spread the word to those that didn't show up today. If they're home suffering with the world events or whatever is going on for them, share these thoughts. Now, Reverend Elijah Christopher, he helped frame some of the topics that we were to touch upon in this month's messaging about On the Edge. And he talked about it, that we live in the time of outrage fatigue. Have you heard that term, outrage fatigue? Okay. This is where we react quickly to the injustices, but rarely move from that into transformative action. What would it look like if instead of exhausting ourselves with temporary relief of swearing, we cultivated a larger faith that demanded we take real creative steps? Can we do that? As a community, can we begin to see ourselves now as a catalyst, asking not just what's wrong here, but really following that with what's next, what's mine to do? And we've all got something to do, especially cleansing the mind of the negativity thought that attached itself to us. This part of being on the edge, then, is not comfortable. We have to rely on our faith to move forward into action, to reveal the next stage of what is possible. And it's going to take steps, one step at a time. And it won't always be easy, those steps. Our shyness, our fears, our sense of inadequacy, those are going to show up, but it doesn't serve us. And we can say no more to that. Like Jesus said, get thee behind me. Get these ideas, these small ideas of myself, get them behind me, because there is good work to do. And I am the shepherd called forth to do that. I am the one being called. I am the one that's feeling the impulse to do something powerful and important. We have to stretch ourselves into that which is unknown, and it's frightening on a certain level. But what we have at our fingertips and in our heart and in our soul is spiritual courage. And we're guaranteed you are not alone. You will find companions of like-minded people all along the way, sprinkled, waiting for you to join them, or they to join you. Anything that can help build this energy of a collective consciousness for the greater good. These like-minded individuals align with vision. There's a lot of very awake people on our planet from all traditions that are awake and ready to be in service. They have met the litmus test for a greater good for all. Greater good for all is what you can change the curse word in to it's greater. There is a greater good for all, and I am ushering that forward now. We are carried by a force of love. This divinity that I speak of, this intelligence, is absolute love at its purest form. It's pure consciousness of love. But we have to co-create with that. Ernest Holmes says, faith without work is dead. We should not only pray, we should act, each contributing the best they have to offer to the common purpose, each willing to make any sacrifice necessary, not a sacrifice that's reluctantly made, but as one who offers all they have for two great purposes. Now here, Ernest Holmes. In a certain sense, it's a selfish one, though, for we all desire self-preservation. But the other in the greater sense that there can be no individual self-preservation without the preservation of all. So as I look out at you, I know some of you are very involved with various community projects and intentions. And I applaud you for stepping into the community in such a way. And the community is always looking for fresh new leadership. And so, step into that. If that's a subtle calling for you, have the courage to know that if you put yourself on a ballot somewhere, you got friends here, they're going to vote. You already have 70 votes. We think it's so cool when we know somebody on the ballot. So that's just on the aside. But I invite us to really go deep here. He also says thoughts and ideas. These thoughts and ideas are contagious. And if your thoughts and if your thoughts and my thoughts, if they meet together, as they most certainly do, why shouldn't our united thoughts penetrate every location on earth with a feeling of goodwill to the humble citizens of every country? Ernest Holmes says, I am sure they can. I am sure they can. Can you feel that potentiality right there? We can do this. Our imagination is key to this visioning possibilities that lie before us. This imagination that we are gifted with, we can link with divine inspiration to see the things that perhaps we thought haven't been imagined yet. They're not manifesting yet, but we can imagine. That's the great song, right? Imagine. It turns everybody's heart on. It just is like, yes, let me imagine this world that works for all. Our imagination, what's so beautiful about it, I want you to think about yours, it's free from your conditioned mind. We prepare our way to vision. The whole topic this year is open at the top. So we open up our mind. What is mine to do? And we just wholeheartedly get the small me out of the way and allow the downpour to grace our way forward. There's no trap doors. When you offer yourself, you surrender yourself to divine inspiration as that resource, as that substance to your imagination. We contemplate our vision and we note to ourselves as we finish a spiritual practice and we've done some visioning. Now, when you're doing visioning, you're not trying to figure out how to do something. You're visioning what is possible. And so there's key insights from that. When you come out of your meditation, that's the time to journal, to start scribing. We ask important questions. Does this align? Does this image align with your greater good of all and harm no one? It's as simple as that. When we begin to work from this point of view, we are creating possibilities planting seeds of faith into action to take it forward. We choose to share with those that we trust. We don't want to just babble an idea. We want to hold it, cultivate it, and then share it with someone that has a sense of alignment. And then suddenly, it's not just you standing on the edge. There is a cluster of like-minded friends standing at the edge, back to looking then at that pure potentiality with bold courage. You all take that next step. You all take a piece of action. And you're stepping forward not to falter or fall, but to fly into that abyss of possibilities. So a great spiritual practice for all of us this week is sit in those practices of visioning and be bold and stay in the wonder, stay in the curiosity. Can you believe it can happen? That's what you keep asking yourself, right? You wouldn't think it up if it wasn't possible. Step into that vision and see yourself. One of my favorite, from years ago, we had a presenter here, and she was inviting us, and I see you, Nadine, and I remember we're not supposed to look at each other, but I peeked. And we were supposed to be thinking of our vision, and I remember, I don't know if maybe it wasn't you, but I remember you in that because you were doing, it was skiing, and it was like, this person was just like going downhill. I don't know how to ski, so I don't know, is this skiing? And I thought, well, look at that. They actually look like they're skiing. But there was other ones. There was people dancing, people getting out of their comfort zone of just sitting and thinking in their own little bubble, but they were moving their body. They were feeling the energy of what they wanted to create. It was so incredibly powerful. The whole room was shining with the sense of delight. It raised the whole vibration of everything. So remain loyal to your larger view and don't let it shrink before you. Just imagine what you can do with that sense of perspective. So I've also talked a lot this month about the Walk for Peace and the beautiful Buddhist monks. They've been on an incredible journey, and the journey doesn't end just because the walk is over, right? Their sweethearts are inviting us to stay in the prayers, to stay in the work. And so this topic, you want to realize what they did, what they prepared themselves for. It wasn't the first time they've been on these long journeys of walk. They did it in India, and then they came here and did the same thing. But how many days was it as they imagined and prepared for this journey, for this walk, for this, even though there was a tribe of them walking single file with their dog, Aloka, even though they were blessed by their teachers, they had all these lessons that they had cultivated, prepared, honed their heart for this sense of perfection. And there was a testimony that I read on social media, the man who moved 7 billion hearts without wealth or power. Just breathe that in. He goes on to say, in a world obsessed with no noise, he chose silence. In a culture driven by ambition, he chose discipline. Before the robes and the pilgrimage, Bhikkhu, one that walks the path, also indicates that he was a fully ordained monk. And he was an IT engineer, a graduate of University of Texas. He was capable of building a successful and modern career, but instead he went to the edge and he climbed outward and he turned inward. So this is the beauty. Years of Vipassana meditation, ethical restraint, spiritual training shaped his presence in the world through this sense of respect, through his steadiness of character. He did not at any time reject any part of society that stood in his face with angry signs. He would offer a flower and bow. No words, just heart, just love. And slowly and quietly, it started off very unnoticed at first, but soon the world was watching. Even when tragedy struck and there was injury along the way, including the poor dog and one of his brother monks losing part of his leg, this pain entered the whole process. So we can see and imagine no matter how careful we are, it doesn't mean the journey there will be easy. They carried it deeper. That little faithful rescue dog walked beside them. He endured surgery as well. And he returned to the road as soon as he could, as if nothing ever happened. Now he was the silent traveler. And by the time they reached DC, governors had issued proclamations, crowds had gathered, and millions were watching. Not because someone shouted, not because there was any drama to what they were doing. They just were walking and bowing and praying. We were watching somebody that endured such bitterness make his way. So even Aloka's story, he chose the monks when he was in India, this little dog. He wouldn't leave him alone. So they said, okay, I guess you join us. So they brought him to America. So their journeys aren't done. This silent witness of the dog was something that a lot of people that are dog lovers, animal lovers, really related to. They really wanted to know the story of Aloka. So he was not doing anything to touch our hearts by any form of force. He moved by example. Can we do that? He possessed no wealth to distribute, no political power, no army to command, only presence. I love this. Only integrity, only disciplined compassion, mile after mile after mile. So in a divided nation, this concludes, he demonstrated steadiness. That is how a man without wealth or power carried something far greater across 2,300 miles. Moral gravity strong enough to move 7 billion hearts. Patience, wisdom, and inner strength carried their vision forth. We can do that. So I thought today it's been, Dalton introduced you a little call and respond. Oftentimes I'm here being the speaking head and saying a prayer, but I want you to participate with your own heart vibration with the prayer. So I'm going to read a stanza, close your eyes and center on what it means. These are some of the prayers. All of the prayers from the monks had to do with loving kindness, various forms of the loving kindness. So your heart's joining their intention now. We will not forget what they've done. So Judy, you can come forward. Thank you. As you all are breathing, finding your center, find the field of coherence with one another as you breathe. Slow the breath. Feel your heart, where the truth lies. The first stanza, I will read it, you will then share it. May the anxious find calm. May the grieving find comfort. May our children grow in safety. May kindness extend to all beings. May kindness extend to all beings. May families rediscover harmony. Now stay in that space, opening your heart, receiving, reflecting, imagining this level of deep mindfulness and compassion. See your heart awaken. to a nation. Vision peace as you walk to the edge, all of you walking to the edge, not waiting. You're practicing now. You're doing something wholesome now, strengthening your heart now. Think about in the days to come how you are going to respond to difficulty, how you might treat those that oppose you. How can you carry the compassion, even when it's not returned? Peace is not somewhere we arrive, it is how we travel. These are his words. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be happy and peaceful. And there's one more call and release here. May I let go of anger and live without conflict. May my body be healthy and free from pain. May my mind be calm and free from distress. May I be protected from harm. And may peace fill my body and heart. We breathe. May all beings release anger and live in harmony. May all beings be free from illness and suffering. May all beings be free from worry and mental pain. May all beings be free from worry and mental pain. Take a breath. May all beings be safe. May peace rest within their bodies and minds. So be it as the words have been spoken by each one of us here in this room, whether in our out loud heart voice or inside heart's intention. We have spoken the words to carry this vision of peace in every step. And may this be a peaceful day as we continue to enlighten our way, to trust our way, to reach our hands out to each other, to ask each other to join us along the way with this divine friendship, this divine companionship. We shall thrive and we shall make a difference as we focus on the greater good of all. I release this prayer in such gratitude that in my lifetime I have found my way to this philosophy. I have found my way to this center so many years ago. I have been privileged to stand before you and share some words of heart, that we join together as a band of hearts that believe in peace, that believe in love, that believe in each other, that believe in mankind and humankind. I release this word knowing that it is powerful and potent. And together we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you. Good work, everyone. Carry on. Dalton. Thank you. So many papers. You can start anytime. I've got lots. Hi. One more.
You can never really know which way it's gonna go. So set your feet down on the road, facing the unknown. Staring through an open door, like you never left the shore. Walk on through, there's so much more to find. All you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart. the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark. One step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are the adventure. You can carry all the weight of your past mistakes. But that's a heavy load to bear. Just back what you can take. Standing on the precipice, you know there must be more than this. Leaning into all that is divine. 'Cause all you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark. One step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are. As I weave this tapestry, thread by thread, uniquely me, slumbering within the sea is everything I'll ever need. Awakening. All you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark. One step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are the adventure. The adventure.
Thank you, Dalton. And thank you, Sue, for a beautiful message. May I have the ushers please come forward? As I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I receive.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I give thanks for all the blood donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is.
We wait at the edge of our seat for Dalton's next performance.
You can relax, it's all right.
I wanted to, I go down a lot of rabbit holes, as you can imagine, preparing time with you. And what I love, though, are the indigenous prayers that I come across, but also St. Clare of Assisi. This was back from the years 1194 to 1253. But look at what she says here. And related to what we talked about today, place your mind before the mirror of eternity. Place your soul in the brilliance of glory. Place your heart in the figure of the divine substance, and through contemplation, allow your entire being to be transformed into the image of the Godhead itself, so that you may taste the hidden sweetness that God has reserved for his lovers. And from one of the Native American prayers, hear this. I stand as a vessel of light. May love move through me, and may my presence awaken what was always meant to remember. We can just breathe with these, right? I just love our opportunity to stand on the edge together. So thank you. Okay, Dalton.
All righty, everybody who's comfortable doing so, why don't you stand on up? Try to get some warmth into your limbs. I'm going to close us out with a couple of numbers here. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. Release and I let go, and let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Well, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. yes, I'm only here for, what's that word? A guide. And with that, if energy still with you, hold hands with each other and let's give this a go as we sing you on your way. Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our one source, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace remains with me, and this is the moment. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me.